All right, Zen, we're back over to you.
All right. So I'm going to give you another part of this emotion stuff. It's something I covered in the Discover ASEA story. I took a coaching course, a business coaching course, a very elite business coaching course to the tune of like $5,000 20 years ago. And the only thing that I can remember, my biggest takeaway from that course was what I'm going to share with you now. In order to get to people's emotions, in order to understand how they're wired, I learned the question, what's important about? They were the most expensive 4 words I have ever learned. So what's important about your health to you? And what you will wind up doing is you'll wind up finding out whether they're people who tend to go towards what they want or away from what they don't want. Now, this is really important when you're looking to understand your strategy for how to make ASEA compelling for them. It really helps because that's where their emotions lie. Those are the 2 big motivating forces that humans have. We either go towards what we want. In other words, there's something big and shiny, you gotta dream. And those are certainly the happiest people. And then there are the people who have to go away from what they don't want. Something big and ugly has to be chasing them in order for them to get off the dime. So if you have a potential customer who is, well, I just want to stop the pain. There's someone you can ask them about other areas of their life. What's important about their career? What's important about their family? And you can understand whether they're going towards something, whether they're a dreamer that has something big and beautiful that is pulling them in, or whether they're away from, and there's something ugly chasing them that they're getting away from. And that's one of the best ways I know to get to the heart of where people's emotions are. If they say, I want to stop the pain, or I want to get back on the tennis court. I want to feel like my old self again. I want to be young. Well, those are people who are going towards. The people like, well, I've had this problem for a really long time and nobody can seem to find the answer to it. And I just try everything I can to make it stop. And both are the best strategies when you're looking to apply it to yourself are both. You're going away from something that you really don't want anymore. I'm tired of worrying about how to pay my bills. I'm over dealing with people that just don't know how to treat other people well. Or I am so excited to be the health fairy, to be that source of hope and healing in people's lives that they didn't even see coming. So it's important to know what your strategy is. Are you someone who easily makes up goals for what you really want in your life? Or are you someone who's just trying to keep up with the bills and get ahead of where you were so that you don't slip behind? So first understand where you're coming from and know that the best strategies are both, right? It's perfectly fine to want to go away from what you don't want anymore, and even more compelling to be going towards what it is you really want. Anybody have any questions?
I don't have a question, but I have exciting feedback.
Okay.
In prospecting, I reached out to somebody on LinkedIn and I said, are you open to looking at what we're doing? And she said, Cindy, my plate is so full right now, I'm not interested. And I said, okay, listen, if you know anybody, if you come across anybody that might be interested in what I'm doing, would you send them my way? And she goes, yeah, will do. So I just got a message from her and she said, hey, please reach out to my friend, blah, 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 blah. she might be interested in what you're doing. If you can't find her on LinkedIn, let me know and I'll send you her phone number. So
Awesome.
yeah, and I had somebody else yesterday reach out to me on Facebook Messenger that I have never met before. She was president of many network marketing companies. She's been in network marketing for, I don't know, over 20 years. And she's been in the field leadership side as well as the corporate side.
Wow.
And she's passionate about another company, not ASEA. But what I've been doing lately in the past month or so is really building bridges with other people in other network marketing companies, not with the agenda of sponsoring them, because they're passionate about, whatever company that they're in. And I'm not a network marketing sleazebag. But what I'm finding is that, ASEA is a phenomenal technology, but it's not all the arrows to the quiver. And so there are other arrows out there that we can use to really attack the problem. And the best health products come out of network marketing companies. So what I've done is I've discovered all of these other technologies that are really helping people, address the issue. And so now we're collaborating with other network marketing professionals that are introducing their tribe to other modalities. And so I'll say, hey, you know what? We've got them this far with ASEA. Do you think that if we added your thing, it might, attack the problem at a different angle? And oh my gosh, I cannot believe what we've been able to tackle. So it's really a fun way to be able to collaborate with people, not to recruit them, but let people stay in their lane, do what they're doing, and collaborate as a network marketing professional community, so that, that many of us in many different companies are helping one person, attack the problem from a wellness solution standpoint, as opposed to a medical standpoint.
Share any of the names of the companies?
What are the names of the companies? Oh my gosh. I could probably whip off 20 names of companies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, Cindy, I had a really good call yesterday with a gentleman that I connected with a week ago, and that he's involved in another company. And really, he said, well, how do you see us collaborating? And I think that's a great question, right? How can we collaborate and work together to go to this focus of health and wellness? So it was a great question. We have another call coming up next week, and I'm excited about it because I think the very reasons that you're saying, it's really important for us to find that path, toward and lock arms, because we can lock arms with people that are not associated with ASEA and give them the gift of ASEA and help lift up the boats.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I was talking to Debbie Wetzler over the weekend. She came to visit with us and we had the pleasure of entertaining her in the snow in and around the valley. And one of the things we're saying, like, so what are you passionate about? What are you really passionate about? At the end of the day, when you're making, $1 million a month in ASEA, what are you going to do with all that money? And we were just, playing a little game. And so we were telling each other what we're passionate about. And one of the things she said, I'm really passionate about changing the medical system forever. And I said, isn't that interesting? Because one of my dreams is to establish wellness centers at hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
And so people have a choice. Do you want to go to the wellness center of the hospital, or do you want to go to the sickness center of the hospital? And there probably are times where you need to go to the sickness part of the hospital. But the more often you visit the wellness part of the hospital, the less often you're going to have to visit the sickness part of the hospital. So I have this, vision of how we could do that in hospitals all over the world. And so that's, really buying into this vision of, man, if I work with this person with this essential oil company and this person with this, gut specialty product and this person that has stem cell activators and this person that has whatever, and we mix all that with redox signaling molecules, man, we're starting to load the gun in the wellness department of the, hospital that we're establishing in our brains. So anyway, it's exciting.
Great strategy.
It's interesting you say that. I was wondering, I have some good friends that I was going to reach out to. They have a product they're passionate about, and a nutrition product. but I was thinking about reaching out to them because this would help. I see it helps complete a package. So it's interesting what you're saying.
Interested to hear the strategy that, what it is you actually say to them to create that bridge, because I'm all about collaboration.
So I reached out to a guy who, was a huge leader at the last company we were with, and he's passionate about the company that he's with now. He's just won another award, and, they're giving him trips around the world and a wardrobe or whatever they give you. And so he's establishing a brand where he is, the company is kowtowing to his royalty. And so he's got a reputation where he is, and he doesn't have a reputation of being a network marketing jumper. He's very loyal. He finds a company that he loves and he stays there for 20 years or longer, hopefully for the rest of his life, if the company, stays on the right path. So anyway, I gave up the idea of trying to sponsor him. And so I thought, okay, well, what else can we do? And so I thought about a strategy to collaborate with him. And I said to him, you're passionate about your thing, and your thing is completely different than my thing. And so what if, you became an associate in ASEA and I become an associate in your company, not because I'm going to build your business and not that you're going to build my business, but when I have a lead, I could send them to you. And if they develop into anything, you could put them under me. And if you have a lead, you could, get a spot in the ASEA compensation plan. And if they say, hey, so-and-so told me I should get in touch with you, if anything happens with that person, whether they become a customer or an associate, I would sponsor them under you. So that kind of collaboration, that way they have a vested interest in sending you leads, with an understanding of, they're probably not going to build this as a business. It's probably going to be customer leads, because obviously that person is building a network in their company. So if they're looking for a business, they're probably going to join him, and he's probably not going to give me that lead. But if somebody's really trying to tackle a health problem, he can give me that lead because he's got one arrow in the quiver, but he doesn't have the other arrows, and nobody has a redox arrow. So, that's an idea of collaboration. Does that help, Kevin?
Well, Cindy, what if some companies, and I don't know, won't allow you to, like, let's say their company won't allow them, they'll lose their contract, whatever.
Then there's ways to get around that. You sponsor your dog, your kid, your
gotcha.
your husband, whatever. Or you have to use your brain when it comes to that, and decide what's ethically the right thing to do, and if you're, none of us want to jeopardize our position. There's, the policies and procedures with ASEA is that, if you're a diamond and above, if that you're building an ASEA business. And if that's why they're sending you on these trips and inviting you to speak at these conferences. Mm-hmm. So if you decide that you're going to try to ride 3 horses at one time and try to be a leader in three companies, I don't know. I don't know. They probably wouldn't want that, because, our reputation, our brand is with ASEA. When people think of, Cindy Buck, hopefully they think of ASEA. They don't think of, man, she's in every company I've ever heard of.
Right. Yeah. Good.
Anyway, but we are way past the bottom of the hour. So Zen, is there anything else that you wanted to bring up before we wrap up this call?
No, I think we're good.
Well, what a fantastic morning. You're a true professional, and we really, really appreciate all the insight. I love the fact that you can take gems from $5,000, $10,000 seminars that you've invested in and share them with us for free. So really appreciate your expertise.
My pleasure.
All right. Have a great day, everybody.
Everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.